Hello everybody, my name is Maria Shiwetha. I am Maria the Prophet. Today I am still continuing with my testimony of Prophet TB Joshua. I am talking about the entities of the Synagogue Church of All Nations. I'm talking about the new prophets came June 5th, 2021. I'm talking about Racine, I'm talking about Yinka, I'm talking about Anne, I'm talking about Angela, and I'm talking about Chris. In today's episode, I would like to take you back to the year 2016. And today I would like to focus on two people, two of these entities, and that is Racine and Chris. Racine was already a wise man in 2016, but Chris was just a regular evangelist. So I am talking about this in order to show you where I am actually coming from with these people. My journey, the journey of Maria the Prophet, how I came to be alive. You heard me mentioning things. I'm giving you a practical example of some of the events that took place back then in 2016. A day came in 2016, attacks were just left and right. Actually, it was like a week. Attacks were just left and right for me. And then I was left grindstand, like I couldn't move left or right, back or front. It was that bad. And then it was accompanied by the weather in the area where I was. The hurricane came through. It was really bad. And this day came, I was like, let me just call the Synagogue Church of All Nations for prayer. When I called, it was Chris who picked up. He wasn't a prophet yet. He was just a regular prayer line person, evangelist in the church. So he was the one who picked up. But as he picked up, he introduced the church like, this is the prayer line of the Synagogue Church of All Nations. He didn't get to the point where, you know how they ask, what's your prayer request? He didn't even get to that. What I heard in shock, he said, how long have you been like this? Don't disconnect from the church anymore. Don't disconnect. Oh, he went like that. People, in that very moment, that was the moment I understood what people in the streets, pastors in the churches, were talking about when they said to me, I don't know how you could be alive like this. I don't know how comes you are alive like this with all this going on. I have never seen anybody like this before. I have never seen anybody with these attacks before. I have never seen anybody that nobody likes in the whole world. People, I had to listen to all those sentences being said to me, to my face. What do you say? I could not say anything. At the time, there's not even a smile. I couldn't get to that point of smiling. I was just like muted, quiet, just like, I'm hearing what you are saying, but because what was going through my body at that point, my body was it was a war zone. It was a battleground. As they are talking, I'm hearing them, but I can't pay any attention to them because what was going on in my body had much more impact. Like it's drawing me to listen to what is going on in my body than to listen to the physical person talking to me. Because when a hammer is hitting in your head and you are smelling that blood, that is serious pain right there. Serious pain, except it's happening in the spirit, but I'm feeling it in the physical. When the lightning is hitting, it's hitting on my skin, on my flesh. So there's no time to pay attention to anybody talking anywhere. Like, ears are hearing, but other than that, nothing else I couldn't listen to, like pay attention to them. So, but that moment in that phone call, prayer call with Chris, evangelist at the time of the Synagogue Church of All Nations, that was the moment I understood the magnitude of events that were at hand for me. I understood. The voice that spoke, I can yet hear it to this day, as it was just done a few seconds ago. But in that call, he prayed for me, and as he prayed, the call got disconnected. And as I called back, I was now trying to explain to him. I was saying, no, I am so sorry. The weather is bad here. There's a hurricane going on here. Before I could even finish, he said, no, there's no weather issue there. I was now shocked. I was now trying to explain again. I'm like, no, it's raining, so the network might not be good. He said, no, there is no weather issue there. It's a blue sky outside. I was shocked. I had to keep quiet at that point. When he said that, I had to keep quiet. As he said that, it was like he just opened my eyes to another world again, to another thing. So at this point, I am now watching. I'm watching bridges and I'm watching pigs on the bridges. I'm watching this worm going right through the wall behind me. There's a wall behind me. I was sitting against the wall. So this worm is going through that wall to the neighbor's house. I was shocked. And I was shocked. And I was shocked. But it was in that call, in that very moment of that call, right after that call, you have heard of me talking about resurrection. You have heard about me mentioning that word resurrection. This is not now the resurrection of Prophet TB Joshua. The resurrection of Prophet TB Joshua is something else that came. This is for 2021, for just a few months. So this is the original time that resurrection came in. I'll make a video on that, on what happened or how it's linked or how it came about. But that's the area that I was being fought not to even know about it, not to see or not to enter. That's where that anointing of resurrection comes in. That's where that word resurrection comes in the first time. This was before my covenant, but the prayer for Chris just opened some doors I can't really explain here. It's a lot of things, but I'm just filling you in that to give you an idea of where we are coming from here, where I'm coming from with these entities of the Synagogue Church of All Nations. They were on training, but they were already entities before they were even prophets. That's the point I'm trying to make here, just to give you an idea of the journey of Maria the prophet, and also to kind of have your views on. You heard me talk about attacks and all that. You don't really know. It was physical. My attacks were physical. Other people have attacks like, when I get a job or before I get a job, something happens. Or before I get my appointments. No, mine wasn't like that. Mine is physical. Everything hits my skin like that. So that's Chris. And then this was a period for Chris and Racine, and they were hitting another prophet in South Africa. That's when they were hitting Bushiri, but I really don't want to talk about Bushiri. This video is about Racine and Chris. So Racine at the time was already a wise man. The thing about it is I was where I had to walk. I could take walks. So as I walked in the streets, I would sing. That was the period I started singing. Like I had 1 or 2 songs I could sing. Now, naturally, I couldn't sing, but somehow, because these people are praying for me, I found myself singing. When I called for prayer lines, most of the time Racine picked up. I'll be falling down in the streets. Imagine you are just walking, you call, somebody picked up the phone, and you are falling down. In the streets, you stand up, you fall down again, you stand up, I felt like a paper. I felt like a paper. Racine was praying for me. And this was way back in 2016, and I didn't know much about church yet. I had just found Emmanuel TV. At the time, it would be probably close to a year. These are the people who prayed for me. And you heard about me talking about the many lights back in 2016. That happened right when I found out the prophecy of Prophet TB Joshua didn't come to pass. That very moment when those events started. It was Racine and Chris, that was their era. Those were the people who were praying for me in order for me to get into that divinity. Them praying for me, it kept my ears and eyes open. I was able to see Prophet TB Joshua fighting for me. I saw the kind of war Prophet TB Joshua fought for me. People, I don't think another human being to that extent that Prophet TB Joshua has fought for me. It's not something you have ever seen. If you get to see such a thing to that extent, I don't know. Time will tell. But what I have seen so far, I just have not seen. I can't understand the best way to process that. The way I saw him fighting for me, the extent of things, the kind of war I'm talking about here is not child war. If it's Prophet TB Joshua, a man anointed to that level, and the way I'm watching him fighting for me here surprises me. Now you get to understand the kind of war on the ground. But yeah, these are the people who pretty much walked me into divinity. I'm talking about Prophet Racine and Prophet Chris, because they were physically praying for me. But yeah, these are things I'm just sharing to give you an idea of where I'm coming from. If you have heard of the dead bones came to life, that's me right there. That's me. But it happened in a split second for me to be alive and able to share this. Tap in their anointing. These people were already highly anointed before they were even prophets. And now they are entities, they are prophets on their own. Be nice to yourself. Tap in their anointing. I am just filling you in bit by bit with my journey. Thank you again for watching. Thank you for stopping by. My name is Maria Shiweda. I am Maria the Prophet. Thanks again. God bless you.